some testing times building up to games, but this one must top the lot, mustn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, without doubt. Yeah, it's been a difficult couple of days, put it that way. But it is what it is. We have to get on with it. We can't sit and cry about it. We've got to take the positives out of every situation, and that's what we're doing.
What are the positives out of missing so many players?
We've got an opportunity to see other players, another opportunity for players to step up to the plate, given their opportunity, and then they got to grab the opportunity with both hands.
You talked last week about the difficulties of having to cope with the logistics of going to Belarus. With what happened with the visas, and players not being able to get visas, this must have been your worst nightmare, surely.
Yeah, I'm still confused as to why we were asked to play in Russia. It's not a simple place to just fly into and play a game. It's not, with everything surrounding it. I want to thank the players for showing their commitment to going out and inconveniencing them and the clubs. The clubs supported us in the main, and allowed the players to leave and get the visas and hand their passports over. It coincides as well with the window closing today. So there's a lot of players that are reluctant to give their passports away because they might need to use it to get a move. And I want my young players playing football week in, week out. So it's such a difficult situation, not just for us, but for the players as well. They're in the right quandary because they want to go out and play domestic football, whether that's in England or abroad. And to do that, they need the passports. But then we have to go and get visas and give the passports away 4 days prior to meeting up on camp. It just didn't add up. It's just made things a lot more complicated, put it that way.
You said you've got to get on with it, but the FAW surely made representations to UEFA.
Absolutely. We've appealed it, we've questioned it, and been met with, we've just got to get on with it. So, and that's what I say, we can't sit and cry about it anymore, Rob. It is what it is. We've got a game to plan for tomorrow. The good thing is, with the players that we've got in the squad, training has been excellent the last couple of days, and we're looking forward and fully focused now to this game tomorrow night.
What implication does Adam Davis's COVID have for the rest of the squad, Rob?
Yeah, well, it's disappointing, but our record throughout the Euros and throughout the summer has been exemplary. So with the protocols that we've got in place, I'm confident that nobody else will be impacted on that, and put it that way, because of what we already have in place, the social distancing. We still stick to it. We had a meeting the first day the players come on camp about the importance of not going into public areas again and using your masks at the right areas and hand sanitizing and all the same things that we've done throughout the last 12 months. So our standards haven't dropped. It's a shame he's tested positive, but we're pretty confident that nobody else will have been impacted by that.
And obviously Belarus and Estonia are the really important games. You don't want to dismiss any international, but does your selection tomorrow have to reflect the importance of Sunday and next Wednesday? Yeah,
every game is important to us, Rob. You're right to say that. We're not going to disrespect any international we have to play in. It's just harder again to play an extra game because we've got a depleted squad, But the most important two games on this camp are the World Cup qualifiers, and we think they're two winnable games. We want maximum points. That's what we're going out for, and Estonia.
And can I ask you, has Dan James been in the camp all the time, or was he had to go to Leeds to get the medical sorted?
Yeah, he was on camp, and again, I have to be flexible with the players. I'm not going to say they can't leave. So we're still waiting to find out what's happening with that situation. But he'll be rejoining the camp, absolutely.
He will be with you in Finland. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And providing the move goes through, you'll be really happy that he's going to a club that really want him now. And how would you say he's developed at Old Trafford?
Well, I think he's got to take a lot of credit, DJ. I've worked with him for years now through the 21s, and he went to Shrewsbury and had a difficult time, and I think he went injured or a hernia, and come back from Shrewsbury early. Within 2-3 months, he was thrown in the deep end of the Championship club with Swansea and played throughout that season and was tremendous in one season. Then he got his move to Man United, a massive club, and was outstanding. Probably one of the bright sparks throughout that time that they were having at that particular time. But what you find with young players, understandably, they go through spells throughout that season of inconsistency. So one minute they can be a 10 out of 10, the next minute they can be a 5 or a 6, and that's young players for you. That's what you get. And at this moment in time, he's been told he can leave, and he's got himself, or potentially got himself, a move that a club that wants him. So you want all your players to think like that. We all like confidence. We all like being told we're doing well, and he'd be no different along with the other players. And we want them all playing competitive football at a club that they loved.
Last one from me, Rob. If you get through this with successful results, how much will this show the character in the squad and the resilience of the squad, given what's been happening?
Yeah, I don't doubt that for 1 minute. They've all been privy to it. Like I said, I can't thank the players enough for showing the commitment. That goes to show how much they want to put on this jersey, to do what they've had to do this week, this build up to this, and seeing what's going on camp, and the injuries that we've had, the pull-ups that we've had. You're right. To get positive results out of this is going to be fine, but is going to be good. Sorry, it's a real success. But they're professional. They're great lads. The training's been excellent. So I'm confident they're fully focused on the job in hand.
All the best.
Cheers, Rob. Thank you.
Diolch, Rob. Lawrence Morrow.
Hi, Rob. David Brooks, what's the situation with him? He sort of had to pull out this morning.
Yeah, so he picked up a knock on Saturday. Wasn't really aware of it. I've done it myself in the past. It's one of those block tackles that you jar the knee, but because of the adrenaline and you don't feel it until the next day. So he turned up on camp, made us aware of it. Between ourselves and Bournemouth, we've scanned him, and he's had to pull out. Unfortunately, he's in the brace, and it's not a major one, but unfortunately, he puts him out of this camp.
I know there's obviously talk of him potentially moving on from Bournemouth. Was that another situation that you had to manage in terms of today as well?
No, not at all. This was purely down to his injury, but like I said, I'm here for any of the players, and we want our players out playing football, and if it means they have to get out on loan, then I'll fully support them to do that. It's added more difficulty because of the COVID bubble, of course. But like I said, we take every precaution. The protocols we've got in place allows them to do that, and then we retest to get back in. And it adds to the workload, but we want to get our players out playing, so I'll be fully supportive of that.
So, if there are moves later today, will players then not make that flight to Finland? How are you guys kind of figuring that out?
No, but then there comes a point where we're happy to accommodate, but if it's at the detriment then to what we want to do on this camp, then no. So yeah, there'll be a time where there'll be a cut off, and once we're on that plane, then that's it. What
time are you flying? Just so we know.
An hour ago.
An hour ago. Excellent.
I'm going quick enough.
I bet. In terms of players that you do have available, I guess it's really, really important for the senior players to sort of step up at this point, and those experienced players in the camp will be absolutely vital to you. Yeah, absolutely. Like they have been throughout the time that I've taken over. I've lent on them quite a bit, and no different to this camp. But like I said, the young lads have got good characters, and we've had 2 good sessions, and we're fully prepared now, ready for the game. In terms of the visa situation, is there anything else that could have been done to get those visas through? Not played in Russia. That would have helped us. It could have been any other neutral venue, and we wouldn't have needed to go through the rigmarole that we have done, and then involve the clubs and allow them to the players to miss important sessions for their clubs. The expense that we've had to go through to get the Russian embassy to meet at hotels throughout Britain and get all the players there. And any other neutral venue, we wouldn't have had to do that. And testing wouldn't have been an issue also going into countries. So, but there you go. And you're absolutely confident that given Adam's situation, that no other players are going to be involved in that? Are you testing some of the players that have been kind of relatively close, if you like? Yeah, we tested yesterday, and it was the one positive was Adam, and we're confident with the protocols we've got in place that nobody else will be affected by that. If it is, we'll deal with it. But up to now, we're pretty positive that nobody else has got a positive. And just finally, then, so you can have quite a young team out tomorrow. Is there anyone you're particularly really looking forward to seeing? And Brennan Johnson's had a terrific start to the season, hasn't he? Exactly that, and it gives others an opportunity. You're right. We are going to pick a team with one eye on the 2 most important games, a qualifier. But
listen, when you put that jersey on to represent your country, it's a big, big game. So let's not underestimate. It isn't a friendly, and we take it serious. And the team that I've picked will go out and compete, and it gives some of the other players an opportunity to go and show us what they can do.
Cheers, Rob.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lawrence. And does anyone else have any more questions for Rob? Yeah, Phil Cadden.
Hi, Rob. Hope you're well.
Hi, Phil. All good, thanks.
I know it's a chaotic situation, so I just want to check a few things if I can. Will Dan James fly with you from Cardiff, or will he fly from Leeds?
Yeah, he won't be with us. There's not enough time to get him back into the camp from where he is. So yeah, we'll make other arrangements to get him back on camp. But he'll be. The most important thing is Phil. He's with us tonight, Finland.
Okay, great. In terms of the visa situation, what was the process for the players that play outside the UK? For example, James and Gareth. Did they have to fly back to get visas for Russia?
No, they had to go to local embassies then and get their visas that way through their clubs. But again, it's involving the clubs. The clubs were brilliant in the main, allowing the players to miss important sessions. They had big games on the weekend, and we were asking them on the Wednesday and Thursday to release their players. So no different for James, Lawrence, Gareth, Aaron. They all had to show that commitment, and they all stepped up to the plate and done it.
Yeah, and just after what happened at the Euros with the travelling situation and now this situation, how do you feel Wales have been treated by UEFA?
Well, I don't know. After the Euros, looking back, it wasn't for me. It wasn't the best format. And of course, I'm going to say that because the amount of travelling we've done. There's no coincidence that the teams got to so far in the stages with less travel. So it was a bit of a disruption. I'm not going to lie. But with regards to this, I can't really understand how it was agreed to play in Russia. I can't. But like I keep saying, and I sound like a stuck record now, it is what it is. I'm not one to sit and cry over spilt milk. We just got to get on with it and see the positives and make the best of a bad situation.
And just finally, aside from Dan, do you have any other players at the moment who are in transfer situations that may not travel to Finland?
No, at the minute we've, we might get a couple of calls now, but like I just said previously, there comes a point where we got to think of ourselves then and think what's best for the players. We've got 2 big qualifiers coming up and a friendly tomorrow to prepare for. We're travelling this afternoon, so there'll come a cut-off point where we say enough's enough.
Great, thanks, Rob.
Cheers, Phil. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil.
Sorry, can I jump in? Sorry, I know I didn't. Just clarify something. Is that all right?
Yeah, go for it.
Rob, sorry, just to clarify things, because we're getting asked on social media, just to get it straight. Obviously, there were a couple that didn't get the visas in time, and it was said they couldn't travel separately. So Dan James is now going separately. So could you just clear up why those players couldn't then go on a separate plane if they get the visa at a later date? Could you just clear that up? Because I think everyone's a little confused.
Yeah, it was important to get the visas submitted by a certain day, Beth. That's what it was. So Dan's got his visa submitted. That was the issue. The 2 players couldn't submit their passports and couldn't get to the embassy or the hotels that we'd arranged in the time designated to be able to get the visas. So it had to be, the cut-off point was Thursday.
Fine.
Dan James got his visa. He got his visa sorted Wednesday or Thursday, whenever it was. So that wasn't an issue. He's got that all sorted. This is a separate issue with Dan. This is now a move for him for an international deadline. But
no, I get you. It's just obviously I know the dates are constrained by other people and not you. It's just we're all a bit frustrated for you, I guess. So thank you. Cheers.
No, I get the frustration. Honestly, nobody's more frustrated than myself, but I understand it from the supporters' point of view as well. And we will take matters further and investigate it absolutely, because it's just not right.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Beth. Gary Jacob.
Rob, I just want to ask you about obviously Rambo. He played 4 games for you in the Euros, and obviously now been injured again. Have you had a chance to speak to him since last week? Because you named him in the squad, and obviously a few hours later, then they pulled him out. Have you had a chance to have a chat with him and find out the extent of the injury? And because he was talking to us obviously in the Euros about having someone now working with him, so it was a bit of a kind of surprise that he pulled out.
Yeah, to me also. But I spoke with Aaron after the Euros, and like I said, I was very impressed with what he'd done throughout the camp. It's just unfortunate that he's picked a little groin strain up early on in one of Juve's games. and you know, he just wanted to get on with it and carried on with it. In hindsight, it might have been the best thing to come off and protect it, but you know, I've seen a change in Aaron's mentality then, and he wanted to just get on with things and give it a go, and probably made it worse. But you know, he had a busy summer, then obviously went back to Juve and worked his socks off again, and probably his loading was too great for his body, and he just caught up with him. So, you know, we're still in contact with him, and like I said, if it's not this camp, he'll definitely be back involved soon with us.
How difficult is that for you? Because obviously you had a certain style in the Euros, and you had him in the team, and he was there, and now you're back to where you were 6 months ago, where he's not in the team, and you're kind of now juggling players again. Yeah,
but we won games. We won games of football without Aaron. He's a very, very good player and a big part of being successful with us. And you look back to the Hungary game that got us qualified for the Euros. He was a massive part of that success. And of course, he absolutely adds value. But that takes nothing away from the other players we've got in the squad, and we won games of football without him. So, you know, it is what it is. We've lost him, we've missed him, but somebody else will step into his position now and play for the badge again.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Rob. We'll bring in James Lawrence shortly. Thanks, everyone.
Sorry, can I just ask Rob one more question? Sorry.
Yeah.
Stay there, Rob. Yeah, sorry. Highly likely that Connor Roberts is going to get a move to the Premier League today, Rob, or certainly that's the talk. Is he Premier League ready? Is he Premier League class?
Oh, my opinion, absolutely. I think he's a great player. I do. I've never seen a right back like him. You know, defensively he's very good, but he's got the energy to play like a winger. I think back to the Slovakia game. I think it was where Kiefer scores the header. He makes a near post run from right back. If he doesn't make that run, Kiefer doesn't get the header. I've never seen another fullback do that in my life. So he's got bags of energy, and do you know what? He's a great lad as well, and that alone will get him a top move. He deserves it.
Thanks for that, Rob. Cheers, mate.
All right, pleasure.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks all. Diolch.